Here we are with an unboxing of the GoNote, a touchscreen Android 4 netbook. A rather unusual product that we haven't really seen before. It's a compact mobile computer running Android that has a touchscreen and a QWERTY keyboard. So this is the packaging. We've got the GoNote on the side of the box, and you can see what's in the box. We've got a 10-inch GoNote, we've got a power adapter, quick start guide and guarantee details, and a 1-year guarantee. You can see this is known as the GNT10WT. Gives you a little rundown of what you get here. So you've got Kingsoft Office on here. This is actually the white model in confusingly a black box, and you can see a little bit of what the product is like. We've got a rundown of some of the features. So we've got a 10-inch screen with a resolution of 1024 by 600 pixels. We've got the touchpad and left and right mouse buttons. We've got a 1.2 gigahertz processor, 8 gig of internal storage, a gig of RAM, a micro SD card slot. We've got Wi-Fi to the N standard. We've got an Ethernet connection. Got a front-facing video camera. We've got a mini HDMI port on here for taking full HD video out from the device. Android version 4. Some of the dimensions there. It weighs in at under a kilo at 970 grams, and we've got a whopping 9,000 milliamp hour battery. And that's it really. So without further ado, let's unbox this and see what you get. So we've got the quick start guide and guarantee details. Fairly straightforward, giving you a rundown of what you actually get with the device and how to sort of connect up for the first time. As you can see, it's got a 12-month return to base guarantee. We've then got a 3-pin UK mains adapter with one of these connections. It's a shame it's not micro USB as we see on a lot of Android products, but this is a netbook, so it's bound to be different. So there's the power adapter, that's all fixed, you can't attach that, you get one of those in the box. Here is then the GoNote itself, which we'll come back to in just a moment. And then we have a little flyer that says how to get up and going, and that's all that you actually get in the box with the GoNote. So here is the GoNote itself, and if we just start by taking a look around the device. So starting on the side, we've got a 3.5mm microphone in, we've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, we've got 2 full-size USB connections, we've got a mini HDMI connection there, we've got a micro SD card slot, and then we've got the power connection. On the rear, we've got nothing apart from the 2 hinges for the screen. Coming around to the side again, we then have another 2 USB ports and an Ethernet connection. So this has 4 USB ports in total. It's got Wi-Fi on board, but it's really nice to see you've got an Ethernet connection. So if you're at work or uni or something like that where you can connect to a wired network, you have that available. On the front, there's nothing really to speak of here. You can just see sort of a small recess to be able to open up the screen. On the top, we've got the GoNote branding. This is the white colour. There is a black version available. It's kind of got a gloss sort of finish on it. And then on the bottom, we've got 4 sort of rubber feet to stop it slipping, and that's it. You can see it's actually made by Ergo Electronics. Right, so let's pop this open for you to actually see inside. So here we have a trackpad with left and right mouse buttons. We've got a QWERTY keyboard with a couple of slight quirks. We've got the sort of home key for use in Android, and we've got the app button above the number 2, which is slightly unusual. We've got speakers up here behind this sort of grille. We've got a few LED notification buttons. We've got the power button here, and then we've got the screen itself, which is 10 inches. we've got the VGA camera up the top here, and that is it. So we're going to get this switched on for you to see in action. So we're just powering on the GoNote here, and it takes about the same time as a smartphone to switch on, maybe just a fraction longer. So we have set this up already for the ease of this unboxing, and a few things to point out. We've got the keyboard here. It is quite small, and it does feel a bit cheap in places. Now, the main thing to realise about this whole product, that it comes in at £149 inclusive of VAT, so it becomes an extremely cost-effective product. It's designed more at the sort of school market, so for perhaps kids who need a computer for the first time, don't need a full-fledged Windows computer or a Mac. They want something cheap that's a bit sort of more robust, and it doesn't matter so much if it gets broken or damaged. And this is what you have with the GoNote, and we personally think it appeals to a much wider audience, because for £150 to get this sort of mobile computing, okay, even if the quality isn't quite there, you know, it's a bit plasticky and looks a bit cheap in places, you can't argue that when you've got the keyboard on here, you've got a touch screen, you've got Wi-Fi, internal storage, you've got micro SD card slot, Android 4, you've got the ability to go via HDMI out. There's so many options with this for such little money. It's really good. So you can see here that we're at the home screen. Now we can unlock it like so, and we go into the home screen. So this is a full touch screen. We can scroll through our home screens and customize it as we please, so you can see that we can press and hold and move stuff like we would on any other Android product. Now, one of the downsides to this screen, this is at full brightness here, and whilst it might be difficult to appreciate, it's good enough. It'd be nice to see it brighter, and the screen itself is also a little bit resistive. It reminds you of smartphones from a couple of years ago, where they just weren't quite as smooth. But we've got to sort of say, again, the price point comes into it here. So we can open up our applications, and we've got certain things installed as standard. We've got Angry Birds installed. We've got Box, and you've got the ability to obtain free cloud storage until the end of 2012. You've got Facebook on here. You've got your usual Android applications such as Gmail, the Play Store. We've got Skype installed as standard. We've got a file manager. We've got YouTube, Twitter. We've of course got widgets that we can add to our home screen. So you've got, you know, the usual sort of Android experience there. You know, we've got the back on the touch screen here, home. We can press for running applications, which we have none. You can also press the physical home button on the keyboard to take you back to the home screen if you weren't already there. Let's just show you that, so you can see it'll move back to your main home screen. You can press the power button to put it in standby like you would a normal sort of phone, and then you can press it again to take it out of standby. So at the lock screen, you do have different security options like you would on a normal Android phone. So you can put in a pattern lock, or you can put in a password if you prefer. You also have the option here on the slide lock to go straight to the camera, and let's show you that now. So it's launching into the camera here, and it is just a front-facing VGA camera at the top up here. But nonetheless, you do have the options to take a single picture just using the shutter button here. You do also have the option to take video as well, and with either the camera or the video, you've got this little thing here that allows you to zoom in. So that's quite a nice feature. You've then got some settings here as well, including a time-lapse interval, and then you've got the white balance. That just closes it all up. And then going back to the still camera, you've got the same sort of options, but you've got C mode rather than a time lapse here. You can then go into the gallery and see the pictures you've taken, and then bring it up full screen, share it like you would normally on your social networks or other media, delete it, or indeed have some basic editing options there as well. So if we go back home, so you've got your Play Store. You can do everything that you want there, download your apps, be it free or paid for. We've got Gmail. I'll just give you a quick look at how this looks here. So my personal email account, but you can see that it opens up here okay. I can go into my different folders within my Gmail account. I can open up emails, use the touch screen. I've accidentally pressed in to the email there. There is a little bit of lag. Whilst it's got a 1.2 gigahertz processor, it's not super snappy, but for most things that you want to do on here, that's not going to be a big issue. Go back to the home screen again. Got Facebook installed on here. That just gives you the normal Android Facebook experience. Let's just quickly go into the settings. So connected over Wi-Fi, but you can see here that we do have Ethernet connections. That's fantastic if you're at uni or you want a more stable connection if you're in a poor Wi-Fi connection. Where you can see this harking back to the mobile side is that you've got this data usage thing, or data usage monitor, should I say. Obviously that's going to be redundant. There's no SIM card slot in here, so you can't really use that. You've got some options around the display, the wallpaper, the font size, the brightness. Get that up to full brightness there. So taking a look at the storage, there is actually 8 gig internal storage on this device, some of which is taken up with the operating system, but partitioned in 2 pieces. We've got just under a gig and then just under 5 gig there. So there's about 6 gig for storing your applications and data on this device. So that's quite a bit of storage, but you can of course expand it through the micro SD card slot or through the cloud services that you connect to via Wi-Fi or internet connected to the Ethernet port. So we've got the battery here, 9,000 milliamp hour battery, so that's good to keep you going. You've got your apps management, and you've got the options for HDMI, because you can go or take HDMI out through the HDMI connection on the side there. That's mini HDMI, so you can connect this up to an HD display, perfect for presentations that you may give at school or in the office, or for playing a movie on an HD TV, for example. You've got all your accounts and sync settings, so be it corporate accounts, Facebook, Google, it can all be done. Location services, there's no GPS on the device, so you'd have to use internet as your tool for pinpointing your location. Language and input, you've got lots of language options on this device. We won't go through them all here. You also have a lot of keyboard options as well for the languages. We'll do another video dedicated just to the languages, but you've got pretty much every language you could want, including some of the less common languages that we see on devices here. And I've accidentally pressed on the Philippines language, so let's go and change that back to English, United Kingdom. But there'll be another video with that information on. We've got the ability to calibrate the touch panel, and then about the tablet here you can see it's running Android version 4.0.3, also known as the PC1058, and it's quite possible that you'll see other iterations of the GoNote around the world, but the GoNote should be the best known version. So whilst you've got lots of apps installed, you've also got the Kingsoft Office software. Now, I don't really need to explain this. Essentially, this will allow you to manage your documents. You can use things like Google Drive or your favorite Android-based document editing software if you choose. They just install this as standard for you as an option, perfect for schoolgoers to get on with their homework. So you do have some shortcuts on the keyboard. You'll see here we've got brightness settings and volume controls, and you've also got volume controls here on screen as well. So what we can do is we can do a couple of things. So I can press mute here. I can then change the volume down, press mute again, you can see it's gone to mute. We can do the brightness as well. And there we go, we've got all of that. And then down in the bottom corner we've got like this notification center where we can see the battery, the Wi-Fi connection, updates and times. So if we click on that, it opens up in this nice little pop-up. So we can see the battery got 61%, we're connected to Wi-Fi, we've got several updates available. We can click into here to take us into further settings, or we can click this again to be taken back to sort of a smaller notification panel. So we can decide whether notifications are switched on or not. We can go into the full settings menu if we choose. We can then also adjust the screen brightness from here as well on a slider. What I will just show you is the web browser in action. So we've just got a default browser here, but let's go to the Clove website. And of course then we have the benefit here that we can actually scroll around with the mouse, or indeed we can do it with our fingers like so. So we can click on the screen, be taken into product page. Now this is running over Wi-Fi here, and we should be able to pinch and zoom like we would on a normal Android product. Now I'm not suggesting this is really the way you're going to want to browse. It's not so easy to do it on something that's quite so big, but you can still scroll through the page. I'd imagine you're probably getting the tendency of actually using the mouse and its buttons for navigating here, but web browsing works absolutely fine. Let's just go and then show you perhaps a video. So let's go to YouTube. So go off to our YouTube channel and let's just show you something here. So it's playing in the little box here. Let's just make sure the volume's up at full, which it is. Put it full screen. So the sound is okay. It's not great by any means, but it's sufficient when you're just sort of at your desk and listening to it here. You're going to get an enhanced experience if you do indeed connect a set of headphones. So that's the YouTube client. Just touch here. We should now have a few running applications that you can see we can go through. And here is where you can just notice a bit of lag. It doesn't seem to respond quite as quickly, but that's to sort of be expected in some respects because it's trying to do quite a lot. So that is the GoNote, available from Clove Technology for £149. We've got to say, so far we're pretty impressed. We'll be back with a full review on our YouTube channel and blog very soon.